the use of personal pronouns such as you, I, and we. For example, we need to conduct the experiment. Improve example. Researchers need to conduct the experiment. 2. You can easily forget how different life was 50 years ago. Improve example. It is easy to forget how different life was 50 years ago. 2. Avoiding rhetorical questions. For example, how can these problems be solved? Improve example. Certain measures must be discovered to solve problems. 3. Avoiding emotive language that shows biases. For example, investigators were very shocked to see the outcome of the test. Improve example. The investigators did not expect the result. 3rd features of academic writing. Explicitness is the responsibility of the writer in English to make it clear to the reader how the various parts of the text are related. It is achieved through 1. Using different signaling words. Contrast or opposite ideas. But, however, on the contrary, cause and effect, consequently, as a result, because. Comparison of similar ideas, similarly, in the same way. Sentence example. One should notify any change of address to the bonds and stocks office. Similarly, savings certificates should be re-registered with the post office. Citing or acknowledging sources and ideas. Example, suicide is a serious public health issue, according to Mann et al. 2005. 4th features of academic writing. Quotient is an important feature of academic writing, which is the concept of cautious language, often called hedging or vague language. Caution is needed to avoid sweeping generalizations. It is achieved through 1. Using devices such as modal verbs, adverbs, or verbs. Examples of modal verbs: would, may, can, might, should. Adverbs of frequency. Examples: often, sometimes, usually. Examples of verbs: tend, suggest,